Before Egypt built its pyramids, and before Stonehenge crowned the English plains, a civilization was already flourishing in the land between two rivers. They were called the Sumerians, living in what is now southern Iraq over 5,000 years ago. The Sumerians laid the foundations of writing, mathematics, government, and organized religion. Yet their story is still not widely told. Today, we journey back to the very dawn of human civilization to explore the rise, brilliance, and eventual disappearance of the world's first great culture. Buried beneath layers of sand and silence, Sumer rose more than 5,000 years ago in the heart of Mesopotamia, the land between two rivers. This is the story of humanity's first great leap forward. Mesopotamia, between the Tigris and Euphrates rivers, was fertile, volatile, and wild. And here, in the south, Sumerians transformed swampy marshland into city-states. Uruk, Ur, Lagash, Eridu, independent, yet connected by trade, culture, and the shared struggle to survive nature's extremes. They engineered canals, dikes, and reservoirs, not for beauty, but for survival. Agriculture thrived, populations exploded, and cities rose from mud brick and ambition. Recent excavations have shown these cities were not isolated. Clay tablets mention regular commerce with regions as far as the Indus Valley, suggesting early globalization of trade and ideas. Sumerians developed one of the earliest forms of bureaucracy: lists, receipts, and records that formed the spine of their administration. But their greatest invention, a system to record it all. Cuneiform, pressed into wet clay with a reed stylus, it began as bookkeeping, tracking barley, sheep, and silver. But soon it evolved into something more profound. Laws, epic poems, royal decrees, religious myths. From this system came the Epic of Gilgamesh, the world's oldest known story. A tale of kings, gods, mortality, and possibly a great flood. It's a story that inspired later myths, including the biblical tale of Noah. The Sumerians didn't just invent writing. They invented memory, and with memory came history. To the Sumerians, the divine was not abstract. Their gods walked among them, unpredictable, powerful, and deeply human. Anu, god of the heavens; Enki, god of water and wisdom; Inanna, goddess of love and war. Each city had its patron deity, and each ziggurat, those towering step pyramids, served as a bridge between earth and the divine. Rituals and festivals were part of everyday life. Temple priests oversaw offerings, divination, and even political decisions. The gods were feared, revered, and obeyed. And like the people, they fought among themselves, a mirror to human conflict. Their mythology laid the foundation for future religions. Heaven and earth, judgment and afterlife, a cosmic order. Sumerians believed kings were chosen by the gods, not divine themselves, but appointed. City-states were often ruled by a Lugal or great man, but power was rarely peaceful. Kings went to war often, seeking to expand influence, secure resources, or simply assert dominance. One of the earliest known law codes, predating even Hammurabi, came from a Sumerian king named Ur-Nammu. The Code of Ur-Nammu laid out punishments for crimes and established a legal order, not based on vengeance, but proportional justice. A stunning glimpse into how one of the first societies attempted fairness, order, and balance. Beyond war and religion, Sumerians were practical innovators. They developed the sexagesimal system, base 60, giving us 60-minute hours and 360-degree circles. They created tables for multiplication and division, used place value, and understood geometry. They crafted beautiful cylinder seals, carved from stone, used as personal signatures, like a stamp of identity and status. Their art depicted rituals, offerings, music and dance, warfare and peace. It reflected a society that was both spiritual and sophisticated. Clay figurines, jewelry, and pottery reveal everyday moments, not just from kings, but from bakers, farmers, and children. They brewed beer, wrote hymns, played board games. They even recorded lullabies. They were not so different from us. By 2000 BCE, the power of the Sumerian city-states began to wane. Invasions from the north, especially by the Akkadians and later the Amorites, shifted the political landscape. Climate change may have played a role. Drought, salinization of farmland, and internal conflict weakened cities that had once thrived. The Akkadian Empire, then Babylon, would rise to dominate, but they didn't erase Sumerian culture. They absorbed it. Even after the Sumerian language ceased to be spoken, it lived on in religious, legal, and scholarly contexts for centuries. The cities crumbled, the language died, but the legacy endured. Writing, government, myth, mathematics, civilization, as we know it, began in Sumer. For centuries, Sumer was forgotten, its achievements buried under layers of dirt and time. In the 19th century, archaeologists in Iraq uncovered the ruins of Ur and Uruk. What they found stunned the world. Tens of thousands of clay tablets, some still being translated today. The discovery of the royal tombs of Ur in the 1920s revealed treasures rivaling those of Egypt, golden helmets, musical instruments, and grave goods that spoke of a rich, complex society. Today, digital archives and new technologies allow scholars around the globe to study Sumerian texts, but much remains undeciphered. Each tablet is a window into a world once lost, and perhaps still only partially understood. When we think of ancient greatness, we often look to Egypt or Greece. But long before the pyramids or Plato, Sumerians built the blueprint. Their story is not just ancient history, it's our origin. And in the quiet clay of Sumer, we find the first echoes of what it means to be human.